I'm coming at you with a massive attack. I'll leave you flat on your back, smack you with my mighty tackle. Bones will pop, snap, and crackle. This is a blitzkrieg, son. Sit down, I already won. Punishment has begun. Just let me reload my gun of ones. It's time to get off my pitch. Here I can help you with this. My shadow friend got a shiv, and he likes when you resist. Time to be quiet, don't snitch. I love the thrill of the risk. All day I spin like a disc. You know it deep in your soul. It's in your blood to blow. Bet every dollar you own. It's in your blood to blow. Man, this boy's out of control. It's in your blood to blow. You got some dice to roll. It's in your blood to blow. You know it deep in your soul. It's in your blood to blow. Bet every dollar you own. It's in your blood to blow. Man, this boy's out of control. It's in your blood to blow. You got some dice to roll. It's in your blood to blow. 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 It's in your blood to blow.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to some more coverage of the Rebbl round of 32. It's season 5, last season before the new rules, and it'll be the last Stunty Cup ticket winner, at least for a little while. It's Puppetjustice in the last minute Suicide Squad going up against Khornight. A very big name matchup, this. Both coaches probably... Well, Khornight is probably very happy to see the Goblins until he saw the coach name. No Goblin team wants to face Orcs. In general, especially Orcs with a lot of Mighty Blow and Guard, and even a token defensive to really cause some problems. There's a Troll in there to go Troll for Troll. But there's only a couple to tackle and only 13 players, one of whom is a Goblin Bruiser. So the Goblin team has stuff to work with. They've also got a lot of inducement money to work with as well. I have some insider information from the man himself, and it looks like, if I pull up the message real quick, not for the stream, obviously. It will be, if I remember correctly, it's a skitter angle, and maybe some extra sundries. Ah, yeah, the team has changed. Let me find your message again, Puppet. Where are we? God, this Discord has so many channels in it. Anyway, I think he said something along the lines of Ripper and Skitter and hoping for the best. A Bomber on the roster as well. Here we go, I found it. So he's rostered. There's a rostered Bomber that you're not seeing at the moment. And instead of Bomber, Dribble Snot, Ripper and Skitter are the star players. So always good to have Bombardiers against Orcs. And we've rostered one, which means we can re-roll the bomb throw if it fails. And we'll try our best. I'm just quickly... I am in client, but I don't think the game's started yet, so at the moment there's nothing to see. So I'll leave the teams up, because that's a bit more informative. But yeah, all the fun stuff. The Goblins bringing out every weapon available. And a bit spooky if you're an Orc team, because especially if the Goblins receive, they can always pitch clear. That's the thing with the Goblins compared to the other stunties. It's a lot easier for them to snowball in the traditional sense of the word, because they just have all of the good kit. What else is there to talk about here? So Khornight is in G-Man Premier. Rebels Without a Block is a 2-season team, as you can see, a very strong record. Almost one more than everything else combined, which is hard because there's some very big teams in G-Man Premier, and this is only 1,500 Orcs. I've seen bigger Orcs in Fresh this season, so they've been beaten up a bit by some of the Necro Gods and the Lizards. But they've got two really good blitzers to get through here. Got a level 6 and a level 5 one. And they're going to do a lot of damage against Goblins. There are a lot of Goblins. The big story, of course, is the Strength Bust on one of the Goblin Trolls. That's a huge blow. But one that the Suicide Squad will just have to live with. Because Block and Pro are just that good. I think you have to take it with Strength 4. No Fnatic either. Although, I don't know if the Fnatic is that good in this matchup, so I guess it's okay, but there's enough guard kicking around. Unless it was like a Block Fnatic, I think it's tough one. But yeah, as you can see, damage taken towards the tail end of the season. But the main thing is the Hooligan is still there. Sneaky Get Dirty Player +1 is always good if you can get somebody down. Cliff Face is the next troll on the block. And it's made it 2 block, so at least a little bit more reliable. What's the other skill they've got? It says to level 3. Oh, Juggernaut. Is that Juggernaut? No, that's Grab. Okay, a Grab Troll, which helps to reposition. And both coaches in the chat at the moment, so we're not far away from starting. But yeah, Cannon Fodder 2. And I will admit, it will be skittable all the way. And the skitter is incredibly important to this team because, as you can see, there's no SVPs on the good stuff. The block pro is temperatized, good to know. So that's why Ripper's coming in. So Ripper's going to be the second troll, and it's going to be they're going to be a bit light on big guy punching. And there's 4 guard and 4 biggins and a troll. There might be a turn where Khornight just bases everything up front, and Puppetjustice can't do anything. Especially if Ripper gets in trouble and surrounded by biggins and troll. Be very difficult. Might have to do some sort of chainsaw blitz or Hail Mary attacking bombardier setup here. But we'll figure it out. Oh, I'm sure Puppetjustice will figure it out. And we'll watch him figure it out live very soon. Very, very soon. But yeah, the winner of this game, I can say... Oh, can I say who these guys are facing? I don't know. Has it been 48 hours? I'll have a quick check. But the half of the bracket has some games outside of the spoiler window. And it's safe to say it's a lot softer a draw than you would have considered it going in. So there's a lot on the table here for the winning team. I think there's a good scope to go deep. It wasn't just hyperbole trying to sell the game in the streaming channel. Right, let me go back through and find the game I'm talking about here. Oh, we might be able to talk about this. 23rd. It is the 24th. So no, not quite yet. But anyway, tab to live. Game's still not up. Yeah, how was your holiday, Puppet? Because I know you've been out in the wilderness. And just made it back in time for this game. Although you may both be disappearing now. Yeah. All right, GLHFs all around. I'll maybe catch you guys at the end. Although if it's been a real dicing, then one of the coaches might just head off. Ah, stop to play, pulling in. Oh, I respect that hustle. GLHF is the call. I will now frantically tab back and forth in the Blood Bowl 3 client. And I know it's not up yet on the stream, don't worry. I'm just saving everybody epilepsy by tabbing across to wait for the game to finish loading up. Yeah, Puppetjustice not playing Blood Bowl on holiday. So you'd assume that Khornight is slightly, won't be as rusty at the game. But there we go, they're live. Right, let me quickly go to OBS and turn on the game. Let's get the game on. Bang, does that work? It does, let's get in here. Last minute Suicide Squad versus Rebels and Law. It's now live. In come the inducements. All 310,000 of them. Oh no, sorry, that was a bank. No bank spent and no bank in reserve for the Suicide Squad. Just $500. 500 and some change, in fact. And as we see Ripper, Skitter take the field. And a bribe and a bias ref. Bias ref is the Goblin Classic. Is the way it interacts with bribe check. So you would always argue. And because if you roll a 1, they get sent off regardless of whether you argue the call or whether you bribe. So you may as well argue. And then bias ref gives you a 5-up chance of saving your bribe. Which is a lot better than a 6-up. And as you can see here, these coaches both spending money on the video game, as we can see the custom coaches. But the big thing here is that Rebels without a block has won the toss and will kick. I am shocked that they've chosen to kick. There's a goblin, someone who's played goblins. I think maybe he's overestimating the impact Bomber Dribblesnot can have when there's, well, just a rostered bomber, I guess. Especially a rostered bomber, because the rostered bomber doesn't have the accurate skill. So he is throwing bombs on a 4+. And this is why Bomber Dribblesnot is banned in a lot of tournament play and is considered a mega star for Rebbl rules, because accurate bombs are incredibly strong. Being able to throw on a 3+ with accurate is very good, because it means your short passes are a 4+, and your quick passes can only go to here. So Bomb Slot can actually be thrown from a safe location. Dr. Brick is going to have to get right up close and personal, and then he's got to win a coin flip to get the bomb in the right spot. So I really am shocked that we're letting the goblins attack, but who knows? Maybe he banks on his strength that highly that he's just gonna waltz it. But hold on, look at this defense. The troll is on the LOS by himself. And if you're Puppetjustice, you're very happy with this. A valuable target that we can grab back into either a chainsaw foul or a dirty player foul, depending on how they want to do it. The Looney has taken the sprint skill, which I think is very interesting. I suspect this is a random fishing for, I don't know, maybe sneaky git or hit and run. Well, we can't get hit and run in this full sub 8. I'm interested to see. It gives us an extra square to foul from, which is fun. I guess we could keep up with Skitter a little bit better as well. Anyway, filling up the LOS. Cliff face the trained block troll. Trained trolls have Lona 3+, by the way. If anyone was wondering what trained means, it means they're slightly less likely to go completely stupid. You can maybe bail them out a little bit more regularly, but it won't be regularly enough. Hold on, let me just turn my music up a little bit so I can chill out a bit. Right. Both teams facing up here. Blitz would be very good, but the goblins don't really have much choice. They have to make sure to get knockdowns on the LOS and hopefully get removals. And this is the super goblin. Cannon fodder 2. Chizasti. So he's a sidestep, tackle, wrestle, a sacking goblin. With stunty is always a threat. Revenge for my dead blitzer, please. So a victim of Khornight in the chat, baying for his blood, and that may well be on the cards. But yeah, Rookie stays off, Goblin stays off, and the kick is deep. And with changing weather, that is perfect conditions still. But Skitter's not fussy. Skitter, of course, is star player. Skitter stab. He's a gutter runner with stab and shadowing. He doesn't have very good skills, but he is a gutter runner, which for goblins is gold dust. Yeah, we don't go for the troll. We're going to take a quick early block here. Ripper opens up onto boots. And no break. Armor 10+ is going to be the deciding factor here, although that wasn't going to break anything. Damn, the bots are getting in earlier and earlier. Get rid of that. And again, a snake. Well, we're getting our low dice out the way on the armor checks, I suppose. Now we will... Do we ever wrestle this down? We do choose to wrestle it down. And this is a good idea because it means that these squares, yeah, we might not get much removal, but the guard can't stand in front. Right, these are really good squares for guard to be in, and the guard can't be there. If that makes any sort of sense. But the two big guns here, Not Black Orc and Frenzy Biggin. He's gone defensive with the Frenzy. Mean that there's no real blitz for the goblins. Not that there really could be with only 2 trolls. The old decision, I think we'll pick up the ball last. Be my suspect. Newt in the chat, hello. Kosian, is this game in the calendar? It was for 4 PM. But Puppetjustice trying to hack his way out of the wilds to make it to a computer. Force the game back a bit. Khornight, quote, was sat in front of his computer all evening anyway and was happy to reschedule to an evening game. And the upside is I get a game to cast that I can cast before my bedtime. Because I have to be up early for work tomorrow. So I can't get the evening one, but I can get one here. And it's a good one. It's the Goblin game. Well, a Goblin game. There was 2 of them this season. And here we go. Hooligan Sneaky Git steps up. And we get an injury. First foul. The downside, of course, is that we're exposed. But it's a nice injury to take. And they let it go. The troll is gone. No regen. Letting that one go so that regen can try and save it. It's only a rookie troll, but it's a nice early get rid. Downside, of course. Cutter. Going in, and the coaches are happy. Puppetjustice very... Oh, is that Khornight's coach? Very happy, I think. No, that was Puppetjustice, even though it appeared on my right-hand side. So, yep. score 1 for the Goblins, but there's a Mighty Blow tackle hit in Yadluga's near future. And especially one with stand firm. Could be very scary. We do have a Chainsaw Fowler to back up. And we do have an Apothecary, so I wouldn't be surprised if a KO gets Apo'd into a stun, and then the Goblins try and hold on to the position so the Hooligan can get up and throw some more fouls, because the Sneaky Git Dirty Player +1 is the most efficient bit of removal they have. We don't go for it. Oh, wow, Khornight. I mean, we get a knockdown, though. We're scared of the big trolls. We're going to peel off the layers of the Goblin team like some sort of onion. Eventually make it to the big guys. I'm a little bit surprised, I will admit. I thought this was a much safer hit. But we've instead decided to go for the ball, which is a strategy in and of itself. And another fade. Oh, we've rolled a 1. But that's okay. The floor has no Mighty Blow. And so Bag will be able to get up and get on with the game later. Now, ball will have to come. The ball, actually, I tell a lie. Because we're playing with a Gutter Runner, the ball can actually go and run over here, and we can focus on punching for another turn. Yeah, I was trying to think of a bridge to Shrek and Ogres, but I couldn't find one in time, so I petered out of it. But yeah, Ripper eyeing up his targets. Troll activates. It's always a good sign. And we've decided that these two Blackhawks are far too exposed, and I fully agree. This is a lovely blitz target. Frenzy Biggin can get put into this square off the knockdown, and we get the knockdown. The Thinking Man's Troll having a very strong start to the game, setting up some good position and good fouls. This will be 2 assists with Dirty Player. If we can make the dodge. Oh, we may not need to. And we get the knockout. Ripper with a lovely start. With 2 for 2 removal chances for the Goblins. And this ball is looking cozy on the left-hand side. We can leave him back here and get the cage going. And it's a very clever setup because Cannon Fodder 40 has not activated. Puppetjustice will absolutely be able to get a 2-die hit into potentially a foul here with a lot of assists. We could see 3 orcs out in 2 turns. This is very efficient. We get the POW. Cannon Fodder 40 coming up big. And Khornight, I was having a nightmare here for the orcs. Okay, the Goblin doesn't break. I was waiting with bated breath there because it's the Goblin blocks. If anyone who's played Goblins knows, the Trolls and big guys tend not to do anything. It's the actual Goblins throwing random bonus blocks that tend to actually do the killing. The way these things go. And we now have a decision. Do we Chainsaw Foul for free? Or do we risk a 1 in 9 for Dirty Player coming in? I think the smart thing to do is to risk it for the biscuit. And then we're just sad if we don't make it. We also have to think about where does the chainsaw go? The chainsaw's coming over to be a cage corner. Exposed to noob. Although with such a wealth of secret weapons available, we've also got the bomber to think about and fouling to think about. Okay, yeah. Big 3+ here from 34. 34 gets it, and we get out with Hooligan. 4 assists and Sneaky Git and Dirty Player coming in, and it's a kill! It's our first death of the game, baby. Oh my, I was so excited. Will this draw the Apo? It's a level 3 Black Orc. Last season of playoffs, and it's not going to come back sometimes. We let it ride. We want a power Apo, and a death cut is always a risk that it can't go to badly hurt. And that's the first death I've seen in at least a weekend of Blood Bowl casting, so I'm very happy to see it. Most memorable one anyway, and the Goblins are 3 removals in 2 turns. Orcs already down their bench, and the ball is incredibly safe. So far, so good for Puppetjustice. I mean, Khornight has had a shocker. I mean, the dice haven't been good, but very, very difficult. So we're trying to get rid of Goblins by just securing 3 dice hits, but we're completely ignoring the ball and ignoring our players on the left side of the pitch and letting them go. Chainsaw is, of course. This Chainsaw has sprint over his head as well. And it is not quite blitzable unless we want to go with Dirty Player. And yeah, the orcs are coming over piecemeal. The downside of being orcs is you are a bit slow. And we're going after the Saka. We don't get him. I think Pro has to be used here. Yeah. We pass it. Should be re-rolling one of the pushes, and it's another both down. Spike coming up empty. And in fact has to take this push. He doesn't have to, but he will do. Because he's now scared of... I was about to say he's scared of the fouling. He's probably actually... Oh, it's a choice to follow. A real choice and a half, that one. Because Skitter is a gutter runner. He can go and stand here. And if the trolls get good field position and then Spike goes down, it's a very strong pos. It is only turn 3, though. So I don't know if Puppetjustice might get ahead of himself here, because it is going quite well, and go too far too fast. He is absolutely... The Goblin Coach will be absolutely fine to just come back, knock over this guy, and put another 4 assist foul into him, and get another removal. I tell a lie. He's going after the Starman, which just makes some sort of sense. And we don't get the knockdown, and now Ripper's surrounded by Orc. Obviously, we've chain pushed our sidestepper free, but guard is present and accounted for. We're going to go in. Ripper's engaged very heavily here and can get knocked down. There's enough guard available, both around and off the ball, off the piece. As I'm looking here at Cutter, and Ripper will hit the deck next turn. I think Puppetjustice might have gone for the classic blunder where the dice are going good, so you decide to get a bit risky, and all of a sudden the dice stop being perfect, and it's like, oh god, what have I done? The ball can always just run away if we don't think we can keep it safe, but they might be considering a quick score. Though I doubt it, because it would force us to make a decision on who we bribed for. Happy with the ball like this. I suppose there's no chance of getting cliff face down. And oh, this is spicy. Very spicy. Have we remembered this guard? This is not a block. And yeah, we're bringing in the extra man. I think this is still 1 dice. No, we found 2. Tell a lie. Ah, I see, because we've gone with Shazasti. Ah. Right, okay. No, that does make sense. We get a break. A random break from the Shazasti into a stun. And our Hooligan can foul if he wants to. But it's a very good question if we do want to. Yeah, because that Goblin has to screen, so it will only be 1 assist. Unless we dodge. We might take this dodge now. Now the position's a little bit safer. No, we're going in. We break naturally. 1 assist is enough. It will just restun, but that was an 11. A natural 11. The Hooligan's having a great start. And Cannon Fodder 43 is going to be the last to activate. We want to see if we can get the others out. And dodge fails. 1 in 9. There's a 1 in 9. And the first Goblin removal is, of course, a self-removal, but there's a lot of bench. And that's the turn. Unfortunately, it is red versus red. But fortunately, the players are different races. If this was an Orc mirror in red versus red, it would be a very difficult board to pass. Fortunately for us, though, one team's a lot smaller than the other. Yeah, we've got another shot here on Shazasti. Although Noob does not have tackle, he is a bit of a newbie blitzer. The real big man Cutter is isolated. He went after poor old Cannon Fodder 42. Didn't get the job done, and now the team is suffering because of it. And Ripper is surrounded. He's going to take a shot here. And we do get him. Block is a very good skill. There's a reason they're making it 40k in the next edition. And down goes the star player. No break. And he should be able to, because he's strength 6, there hopefully will be some sort of get up and block. Looking at Cutter here, but Cutter has stand firm, so it's not an appetizing thing. And getting it down means we're probably having to get up and blitz. It's never ideal. Puppetjustice at this point seeing that the best blitzer's committed. Both of them are committed. One's on the floor and one's in line with the gutter runner, which means the gutter runner will be able to run away from it. He'll be looking here at Noob and thinking, if I can get this orc down and I have it next to a troll and a decent goblin, never mind, here comes the blitz. And we get a knockdown here. Another bit of cannon fodder hits the turf. Well, I say it's Astro Granite here on this pitch and it's out. KO. True neat. Not smart enough. We're going to try a one die and don't get it. And sidestep helps a lot here. I think sidestep, yeah, sidestep straight up. It gives us more field, just gives us field position. And it has a poison choice. So now, Puppetjustice can get very easy. Oh, we're going in for the foul. Oh, we get rid of Ripper. Serious injury. Big test of the regen. And it fails on a 2. A lovely piece of fouling work by Boots. It gives up the score, but it's such a good trade. Touchdown for Ripper. Especially this early in the match. And Puppetjustice is reeling from that one, I'll tell you now. That's a lot of star player, but that's a lot of money out the game. That's like 270k out the game. The only consolation prize is the fact that the Orcs are now going to start running out of players, but Ripper was such a big part of the game plan. We're now at the mercy of really stupid. Which is a brutal one. Magnus coming out of lurking, it was that brutal. But yeah. Rough shot. And now we're a little bit low on resources. 3 removals later. Skitter can always score, but we don't really want to roll our rushes. The good news is that there's not a lot that can stop this guy. Especially if we're happy to roll 1. But if Skitter knocks himself out failing a GFI, then the game is almost over, realistically. We are going to grab onto Noob, and we will follow this up to mark the orc climbing with Dirty Player. That was a very important activation. It wasn't game over if it really stupided, because we have the Hooligan, but it means that we can get a piece out of harm's way, should we so choose to. And I tell you what we're thinking about now. We're thinking of if we put Shazasti here to screen it off a bit and run Skitter to safety, we're probably going to try and get a foul off here onto Spike, because we have all the tools for it. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to cover the ball with a good goblin, and we're going to try and get some revenge, because Ripper is a good piece, but this guy is a great piece. And we're trying to get we get the extra dodge for another assist, and we're debating whether we want the break armor from Chainsaw or the Dirty Player. And it's a tough call, because we're going in with the saw, guaranteeing the break. We're also considering maybe when we see this, it probably means we're getting rid of the saw when we score. We might not invest a bribe to keep it, so trying to get some value. Unfortunately, it's just a stun, but we rolled a 5 on the armor, so the Chainsaw is absolutely needed there. It was the right decision. And unfortunately, Taka will do its business. Yeah, we do let this one ride. Just a 3 this time. But yeah, Magnus, yeah, no worries. Dude, the Twitch viewer count changes are abysmal for the casual lurking stream chat viewer. Because it's a lot harder for me to see people who are lurking, because Twitch doesn't like it. But you do you, man. I'm glad he got us on in the background. But yeah. If anyone doesn't know, Magnus, let's be honest, didn't understand really how the reroll mechanic worked, and the redraft mechanic, and redrafted his goblin team without any rerolls. We're probably going to need to reroll this. We go with pro. Very greedy here. We go with pro. We'll get rewarded. Will we get the removal? That's a badly hurt. The apothecary will come out here. Should do anyway. This is one of the only pieces you should be appoing. Yeah, we're thinking about it. I think this does have to be the app. It's guaranteed to come back. And it avoids us facing faith in the chainsaw. Oh, interesting choice. Missed the very start. Well, I'll give you a quick recap. The orcs chose to kick into Skitter Ripper and then decided to put 7 pieces in the right-hand side to trap Skitter. And Puppetjustice sort of shrugged his shoulders, blitzed this Frenzy Biggin, which was exposed, and knocked it and removed it after killed another Biggin blocker with a foul, moved the ball over here, and it's sort of been a guaranteed drive for the Goblins on like turn 3. But the big turn up for Khornight is that he was able to foul out Ripper on like it was like a 1 or 2 assist. A lot of stompies. Not a fan of rerolls. That's one way of putting it. But believe it or not, Magnus managed to win a game in the Premier Division with no reroll Goblins. So I don't know where that. I think that says more about Magnus's coaching ability than G-Man Premier's coaching ability. The Australians and Americans out there will say, well, makes sense. G-Man's a terrible league, but I like to think it was a Goblin masterclass. And now we have a decision point because we really want to foul Spike, but we also kind of want to score because I don't think it's never going to get any easier. It's a free score. But a 2 assist foul with a chainsaw is probably too good to pass up. You have to be incredibly disciplined to score here. Yeah, we are going to try. And that will draw the ref because we don't have sneaky git on our chainsaw. We've gone for a random into sprint and no sneaky git is entirely the difference. We're going to bribe straight up simply to avoid the risk of a turnover. And that would definitely cost us the game. So the bribe's out, which means the Looney is now out for the game unless the officious ref comes in. And it's not the best ending of the drive for the Goblins here. They had a very good bit of momentum, but losing the I am a little bit surprised. I think this is some holiday hangover brain from Puppetjustice here, because you letting the hooligan go, and then I guess maybe if he didn't roll a double, then I'm not saying this. I think that's a fair point to make, but at the same time, like, letting go your sneaky git and then having said now we're going to have to let go our Looney. We're now out of good fouling pieces on turn 5, which is never a good place to be as a Goblin. Never, ever. And it makes me wonder what we're saving the Apo for if not the sneaky git hooligan. I'm just looking down the roster. Oh, we do have a backup sneaky git Goblin, but Dirty Player +1 is so good. I suppose we're saving it for the troll or maybe for Shazasti. Maybe Shazasti signed like some sort of deal where he gets exclusive apothecary rights. But I personally don't think he's that good. Anyway, we're not scoring. We're going to try and stall another turn, which is definitely the right thing to do. And we have found the situation. It will now cost us this chainsaw though, I suspect. I think this is turning into a very good drive for the Orcs. It started a bit badly. But Khornight can really redeem himself by now killing this chainsaw, so the bribe goes for a piece that is gone permanently anyway. And then ganging up on the next one. So we're down 4 players so far for the Goblins. And the Orcs will be trying to get rid of at least 2 more. But no, he's going for the ball. That's what this implies to me. And I think that might be a slight error. Take our free shots. And Pro doing so much work. Never fails. And just to stun that time. Puppetjustice is probably a little bit annoyed at how good Pro is for the opponents. And yeah, we are going after the cliff face, which I think is... Oh, actually, it's a free hit on the cliff face. Never mind. All right, yeah, it was a desperate sort of play to do this. I was a bit surprised. Yeah, I was wondering why didn't I suggest he stall, and I think it was because this sort of situation. Couldn't get the troll unmarked, and now we've got a free hit, and in comes the mighty blow, and we roll a 6. First time of asking. 2. We've got both good outcomes straight away, and if this breaks armor, the Goblins are in a whole world of trouble, and the rerolls will start coming out. But if Skitter gets killed here, well, there you have it. I may have spoken it into existence. Both star players gone. Hooligan gone. Chainsaw's next on the list. And ball down on the Goblin attack. But well, there's a Bombardier. There is hope, but it's definitely turning into a fleeting hope. Orcs are getting involved. Turn 5, they got to start thinking about, yeah, they're going to... I'm very surprised we didn't stand up Spike before doing this activation. But we're going to try and pick it up right here, right now. We've got 2 rerolls, thinking about using one of them. Wanting to get this 1-0 at the half. We let it ride. Quite rightly. Because we counted, and we think, well, he hasn't counted correctly. Cliffface can get up and blitz. She will do. And we'll go after the guy marking the ball. Unfortunately, that's not quite good enough. Will we see a reroll? We won't. Well, we will try and scatter this. But I don't know if it's that good of a scatter. So there's scatters over here that are perfect. But right side scatters are very good. Oh, look, it's looking good. It's looking deep, actually. I tell a lie. I thought it was going over here. But look at how far away that's gone. Cannon fodder 34. We'll have to rush for it. We can recover this for the goblins. Fortunately, it will cost us the troll. The troll might get surfed here. It's not looking that good. Yeah, Nami in the chat. Very sad. I agree. It's not a good time to be a goblin fan. Yeah, it's rough. Both coaches, I think... There'll be a lot of VOD review for both coaches here. I think both of them haven't played perfect Blood Bowl, but... Very hard to be goblins when your star players disintegrate almost on contact with the enemy. We have a scoring threat though. Chainsaw fouling, unfortunately not getting through Spike that time. And Spike will get up and punch this Magnus the pink guy. It's never a good time to be a goblin fan. That's not true. Whenever Kiander's playing or Yidlug is playing or Puppetjustice is playing, it's always a good time. Hell, when I'm playing goblins, it's a good time to be a goblin fan. Maybe that's a bit too egotistical. I've never made it past the first round of playoffs either. But I've won a few games with goblins. It's not all doom and gloom. You just got to be a real nerd about it. Unfortunately. And here comes the surf attempt. We'll try and start off with not the Black Orc, who will set up. And then Omok Boom Boom will finish the job. But not before we get our big time hit on the chainsaw and a 6. And it's of course a +3 chance from the chainsaw itself. We don't break. This has to be a low roll. Yeah, we roll a 3 and it was a 5+ check with Mighty Blow as well. Essentially a 4+. Incredibly rare outcome that. And a silver lining. Unfortunately though, we might lose the troll here. If we don't Apo this, I really started to wonder what the Apo is for, and I start to question whether Shazasti has actually paid to have Apo rights, which would be quite entertaining. In fitting with the Goblin team thing. And it's a knockout. But we have to let this go because we're off the pitch. Although he's having a consider. And that is Apo. We decide we don't want to risk failing a KO roll, which does make sense. We don't have a keg. Because we've got a bribe, which we used, and a bias ref, so trying to reduce some variance. But the goblins will get to pick it up. Where they go with it, I have no idea. Because there will be a square. Wherever they go, Noob can reach. And anywhere Cannon Fodder goes with the ball, Cutter can definitely reach. We're going to get up and blitz. In comes the chainsaw. Oh, we break. Just another stun though. And we're really starting to look like it's going to be Agi ball. Our play here is quite literally we have to pick up, hand off to Cannon Fodder, who then scores. I think that has to be the line. And we simply make the 4+ catch and we go about our business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can make it with 2 rushes. We can avoid the tackle. But this has to be the play. We have to go the length of the pitch because the safeties are there's 2 good safeties. We can't mark them. We don't have the pieces. And so I think Puppetjustice is just trying to math it out, see if there is a way they can sideline cage. The alternative is we run over and then we do a sideline cage. And I think that is what we're going to try and do. Oh no. This implies we're doing a throw. Which I don't particularly agree with because we pass on a 4+. I think a handoff and rushes are just better. Although this might just be in case of in case we fall over into the end zone. And we can catch it, potentially. We'll see. Anyway, the pickup's in. There's a handoff activation. We're going to throw. Oh, Puppetjustice. I think he might be on the holiday sauce. He's rolled a 5 out of 6. In comes the reroll and we turn it into a 1. So yeah, I think he might be a little bit sozzled, because there was definitely like a run and handoff and then just run in line that didn't need a 6. But I'm all down for some big time plays. We almost got it as well. We rolled a 5. Cannon Fodder 34 gave it a damn good go. But this isn't the Puppetjustice I've seen play before, I'll tell you that much. Anyway. Well, here's the next victim. Now, this chainsaw has been a bit stubborn. But there is still a line to be won. The Orcs can still be 1-0 up here. If they roll the dice right. And this blitz activation will tell us what the intention is, because Cutter will have to be the scorer off of this stun. So Cutter needs to get downfield and sharpish. And unfortunately, these guys are just a bit too slow. And the hard part will be trying to get the ball to Cutter. He's in scoring range. Okay, we're going to try and hedge our bets here. We're going to try and get the chainsaw and then throw some rushes. This time we break. And knock out. No apothecary. So we are going to be taking a KO check and then a biased ref check to keep that guy in the game. And he gets downfield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we'll need 1 rush, but we got 2 rerolls. Now the hard part is getting the ball. Now Boots, the Orc lineman, can get over there. But there's not a lot he can do. He doesn't have tackle. And Goblins will of course have the dodge skill. So most of the time, Boots is just going to stand there and watch the Goblin go around him. But bless him, he's going to try his best. And get up in the face. So Cannon Fodder 34. And we're going to try this passing play again, I suspect. If at first you don't succeed and all that. Cannon Fodder thought he has been pushed out of range. And we're going to go for it. And we almost... Have we failed the first dodge? We haven't. We have failed the pickup though. That'll need to be re-rolled. And this is now looking a lot less likely. But anyway, here we go. We're going to try and pass through the Goblin, through the Orc. And we roll another 1. Not even close. And now, Rebels without a block have to do a bit of passing of their own here. Although it will only have to be a quick pass. Pretty sure. So the obvious play here is we blitz. We hand off to Boots. Or throw to Boots, either or. And Boots will then try and get the ball over to Cutter, who will then walk it in for a 1-0. And with 2 rerolls available, there's every chance of this working. But not before we take our shot on Shazasti, albeit without Mighty Blow. But sometimes Stunty can go away without needing a Mighty Blow. It's that important a skill. And yet, here comes the play. So, pushes will do. The Khornight. We'll follow it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Will we hand off? Or will we pass first? It makes no odds either way. It's where you want the 1 SPP. I suspect we want the 1 SPP on Boom Bim, so in theory he should be the one throwing the quick pass. Although, tell a lie actually, no, because of the rushes, it should actually be the dirty player that throws. Because it will only need 1 rush here, but 2 rushes here to do the handoff activation. So yeah, it'll be pick up, take a rush, hand off, and then run to here and do a quick pass. Yep, here we go. Khornight sees the line. Still got our 2. We need to hold a reroll for the throw. And we've done that. Animosity passes. And so it's an animosity check into a throw check. So there are a lot of dice rolls still to go. Oh, he's just rolled a 5. Boots with the cannon arm. Deft touch. And it's an MVP performance from Boots here. They'll run it in for 1-0, but it's all off the back of Boots. Turned the drive on its head by fouling into Ripper and removing it. And then throws a clinical pass as a lineman. And declared eligible, apparently. Comes in and throws a quick little shovel. Which is impressive in its own right if you're an Orc lineman. And puts them 1-0 up on the Goblins' drive. They will now receive the ball. There is a rostered Bombardier to play with. But the saw is gone. Now, did he pass the ref? Yes, argue the ref worked. But he failed the KO roll, so he's out anyway. Goblins lose their bench, lose Skitter, importantly. So the play was so the play from Puppet, the roster makes a lot of sense. So he's rostered a bomber, and the play for his defense was to bomb, and then Skitter gives you pickup options. Because the usual problem with the Goblin defense is that yes, you can bombardier down the ball and the cage, or you can bomb the cage and then troll blitz, but you tend not to have any recovery. You're not an elf. You can't like pick up the ball, deftly hand it off, and then fumble Ruski it, and then pass it and run away. The Goblins are only movement 6, agi 3 with stunty, so they can't really get away with the ball, and then they all just tend to die. So Skitter was the solution because he's a gutter runner and can get in and get out. Not a very good solution because it's a loner gutter runner with no pickup skills, so it's a very scary reroll if he fails it. But it's better than normal. But unfortunately, Skitter took a shot trying to stall the game. Unfortunately, the big troll got overwhelmed and Skitter just melted like paper. One block, there was no tackle on it, just a regular block with Mighty Blow. And the first 2 dice were both down and pow. So Skitter just melting away. Jelly pointing out that orcs can now clearly play like elves, and that is true. They are known as the green elves. And Boots straight into the backfield. He's playing QB, dirty player QB. I don't know enough NFL to know who that is in real life, but he'll be carrying the ball, a deep drop back, and I'm sure he'll be flinging out more passes here as you're racing to scoring position. The LOS is 3 cannon fodder goblins who I don't know how long for this world they are. Indeed, we're passing up hits. Oh, never mind. We aren't passing up hits. We're going to shove them around a bit, but we kill one outright. Down goes a goblin. Second death of the day. We also lost a troll earlier to the goblins, but cannon fodder 40. Goodbye, my dear. But we've also lost once MVP Biggin. No, that's not. Oh, it is the Biggin blocker. Yeah, once MVP Biggin will be MVP no more because he's dead. So some attrition, but you know, nothing to cry about unless you're a real pixel hugger. And who knows, maybe orc coaches are a bit pixel huggy. Anyway, we get another Mighty Blow both down. This time doesn't kill and just stuns, so it's safe for at least a couple more turns. And the rest of the Goblin team can do nothing but watch, unfortunately. Now, I said this in the preamble, but Bombardier without accurate gets a lot worse. And that is exactly what this is. It is very much a Hail Mary. Oh, and Boots. Who picks it up on a 5? No dramas. He's got a Goblin friend to hang out with in case of thrown Goblin shenanigans. But I suspect it's so... There's such a big gap. I don't think the Goblins could throw unless Cliffface runs up and throws this Goblin who then can't move on the landing. So... an abundance of caution from the orcs, but fair enough. He's the playoff coach and not me, so he must be doing something, right? I mean, it is the only way they lose from here is if a miracle throw happens. So it does make sense that you have a bit of insurance. And yeah, Puppetjustice just maybe having another drink. Trying to figure out if there's anything he can do. The answer is there isn't. Unless we want to throw a blitz with Shazasti into a foul with the sneaky git. But the problem with that is we just get surrounded by Mighty Blow and Guard and killed. So we're going to try and take a troll blitz. See if we can... Cliffface can redeem himself for getting Skitter killed earlier. But yes, it's gotten through to the Newt's brain that the orcs can just pass turn 8 times and win the game. So I don't know how interactive this half's going to be. But we get a KO. Bit of momentum back. Up the Goblins. They're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. And one of them is a stunty. So there's always hope. As long as Cannon Fodder 41 is on the pitch and at the halfway line, there's hope. We have a throwing potential here. So if we don't blitz Cannon Fodder 42, we can always have a Hail Mary throw into something. But the real dangers here are Cutter and Spike. And as long as one of those two remains on the pitch, this should still be all orc. Yeah, we're trying to make a pocket here for the Bombardier. And out of piece steps. Can't obviously throw now, but if they try and mark, so the way he's set this up, right, is that should they take the shot on cannon fodder 34 and get in front, try and get on the Bombardier, Puppetjustice says fine and throws a goblin at the ball. But if they walk forward and try and blitz this guy or blitz the troll, it puts them into quick bomb range, which is only a coin flip. So that's the game that Puppet's playing. Unfortunately, Khornight doesn't have to play the game. He can stand up from the table and go for a walk, because he's 1-0 up and the ball's all the way here. So, see what they do. Ah, and Lord Brainlord comes in with a 3-stream watch streak. That's very kind of you. I'm clearly doing something right. But we will take that moment to appreciate this. You've picked your moment very well. You've waited till the game was beyond doubt and nothing left to do, so we can all talk about Lord Brainlord and the sit-down boys. A goblin gets stunned. We're trying to get Never MVP his level here. He's on 13 of 16. And I suspect Boots, being the enterprising quarterback he is, will step forward and shovel one off to Never MVP. He will run it home and get that level up to 16 and then get another guard for the next week's game in the round of 16. And here comes the ball. And we have sent Spike back just in case of goblin shenanigans. And we've left the troll unmarked. So there's always a chance that we throw a goblin at the ball. Specifically, we throw Shazasti at the ball. And we hit the ball and the ball carrier dies. And that would be worth the price of admission for anyone, goblin or orc fan. Oh my god, I got the hiccups. Never mind, we're blitzing the killer. Killer is available. We're going to try and foul it out. In comes Shazasti, hoping for a miracle break on armor 10+. Don't get it. But we do have a sneaky kit hooligan to put in a bit of pain. And a throw teammate activation to go for as well. Yeah, very tough break. Ooh, never mind. We're not throwing. We're going to get up in the face. Going to try and open a lane. And take advantage of Boots' movement 5. Mark up the scoring threat. I doubt we'll see a bomb throw. I'd be very surprised if we did. There's nothing good. I don't consider the 5+ short pass to be a good idea. Maybe Puppet will disagree with me. He may just throw a long bomb at the ball here and try and just get an inaccurate scatter. But that's oh, we go for the foul. We get the break. Can we kill? It's not a kill, but it's a knockout on Spike. This might be the apothecary here. Yes, instant. Khornight knows what he's about here. Recognizes the power this piece has over goblins and keeps it on the pitch. But I don't know if he'll be... Well, he should be able to save him. But it commits Black Orcs away from the ball to try and save Cutter. And the goblins will be okay with that. He might even be happy to lose the kit goblin to a blitz if it means he gets to focus on the ball carrier. You never know. Maybe the announcement of a 3-stream watch streak from Lord Brainlord might be the turning point here. For the goblins. I doubt it. It's still very favoured. Because in worst case scenario, Boots just runs away. Like if we get to turn 13 and he's getting scared of what the goblins can do, he can just run back here and it might take too long for the goblins to get to him and knock him over. Never mind, we're going forward. We're going towards the goblins. And trusting that we can kill them all. This is brave. Although, is it really brave with fighting goblins? The other blitz is coming in to save his friend. We do get a knockdown on cannon fodder 32. And Puppetjustice will be praying for the goblin armor. We pro check for a chain push, maybe? No, we just take the block, but no break. Puppetjustice is very happy with that. But one time you want to tank a mighty blow tackle shot, it is this time because the ball is nearby. And yep, Khornight's realized he's in trouble. This won't be good enough because there's 2 free squares and the goblins have stunty, and you bet he'll try for this. Shazasti in range of the ball. They can't get the bodies in the way. A fadeaway dub skull, which takes a reroll. Only one reroll for the Orcs. This could go to OT if the ball goes down here. It's absolutely not over yet. Finally, an end of turn activation, and we don't get it. Dodge does its work. Very good time. And this goblin can now just walk away, and this blitzer does nothing for another turn at least. In fact, he lets the goblin walk away for free. I'm very surprised at that. At least make him think about... At least make him have to do important stuff. Look, McMackey. The sensible thing is to run over here where there aren't many goblins. Or just sit in the backfield. Going towards the range of the only goblin that could potentially cost you the game is, yeah, it's braver than not doing that. Hear me out. Anyway, how many tackle zones are we going to have to walk through to get to this ball? Will the bomber try and influence the game here? A cheeky bomb in this vague quadrant, because I doubt it'll be accurate. It'll be a 5+ roll. You never know. Anyway, we'll take a troll hit. Unfortunately, no break this team. And yeah. Look, all I'm saying is there's a 2-die hit on the ball with wrestle tackle. If we're willing to roll enough dodges, it is there. I don't think we are willing to roll enough dodges. I think we're going to try and kill Cutter again. And maybe throw an end of turn bomb. This will be what the blitz is. The blitz will be on this Black Orc, I suppose. And we'll try and wrestle it down because we've got more assists. Yeah. We don't wrestle him down, unfortunately. We power it down. Although I suppose Cutter can be fouled again, so it's not a disaster. And a knockdown's good. This gives us 4 assists for the foul. So it is still a good foul. So it's not as I probably would have I would have gone up for the ball there, I think. I would have just tried to roll all the dice. If it was 0-0, I get it. But 1-0 down, the bomber's coming over as well. Bomber wants to get involved. He will have to roll a rush if Spike decides to try and kill it. And in comes the foul. We get the break. Injury! No Apo. That's the one I wanted to get rid of, and they have. And I've instantly been vindicated for calling this a brave choice. Anyway, cover it off with the catch guy. And I may be clutching at straws because I want the game to be interesting, but the Orcs are in trouble. I'm a little also... I think in the excitement of the play, Puppetjustice has forgotten to activate this goblin because it did have a free move. But there we go. We've freed up 3 goblins for next time. We pass! Cannon fodder 42 forgot to do anything. Oh, dramatic turn. And in this sort of environment, you need every goblin you can get your hands on, surely. Let's Omak come in and mark these 3. Although maybe these 3 fancy it. They've been throwing blocks against Orcs all half and coming up on top, so... may tempt it. Right, at the moment, there's more goblin players than Orcs on the pitch, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was correct. 10. Anyway, scoring threats here. This will kill the game if Omok can score. Where's our... I'm surprised... No, unfortunately, our best scorer has gotten stuck on the troll. I think Never... If we're playing for a level, I think the play was definitely to come into Cliff Face, knock him over, and then try and get Never moving down the pitch. And Never MVP gets the touchdown, moves to 16. That's a guaranteed guard for the next match. We're thinking about it. The ball drops back. And who's Spike picking out here this time? It should probably be Shazasti. He's the best goblin left, but you are walking into a thicket of tackle zones. Now we're going after this Fowler. Don't get him. And Pro goes to another push. Pro letting them down when it counts. It's been pretty good so far, but not there. And once again, the bomber might throw a quick bomb over here, try and get rid of this blitzer, but under threat. It would be a good blitz bait if a blitz gets burnt onto the bombardier and we send everyone else at the ball. But look at this. It's so unsafe. Surely Puppet pulls the trigger now. I mean, tackle is scary, but I don't know if we're going to get a better chance at this. It's a very easy one die. Cannon fodder 38 can get to here, can mark the goblin, and then we get a one die on the ball. Oh, play with my heart here. Puppetjustice is a realist, apparently. Sees that he can foul out the other blitzer. That's the alternative line here. We get our 2 die hit. Hopefully we get the wrestle. And will we re-roll this? I think he might do it. Yeah, he's going to do it. We need what we can get. Oh, and it's push skull. Sad times. We won't. Yeah, okay. Tough turn. That was probably the right thing to do. Just didn't get it. Can the troll do any better? No. Okay. Goblins stall out a bit here. No knockdowns. That means no foul. Will we desperate? It might be a desperation bomb throw, which is always scary because we're going over the heads of our own goblins. Ideally we get it to this square, but that's quite a difficult one. It's just on the range of a short pass though, but that would be a 5. No, it would be a 6 plus. Wait, no, yeah, 5 plus needed to get the bomb here. And we actually will blitz back onto Omok here with the Bombardier, and that rolls double skulls. And this is a Mighty Blow shot, so we will re-roll and pow, and this will be the foul. So we've managed to get a foul out of this, just about. It's not a good target. There's a lot better one here, but we get our foul. And we're thinking about dodging out for an extra assist here, because it is armor 10 plus. We don't do it. We're going to try and get our foul now. Sneaky get goes in with another break. That's the big break. And the ref says, hold on a second, mate. We're going to have an argument. And the ref says, no, get out of here. Third fouler gone. But it's a decent stun. Lets these guys get back into the fight, but gives up a lot of space here. And I think that, I don't know. I think that might have been the go. For me, that's the go turn. I'm putting the goblin here. I'm marking up. I've got 3 goblins here to play with. I could probably get somebody to stand here. And then I just send it in with our super guy and we roll the 3 plus from tackle. And if we fail the 1 in 9 and tackle brings us down, then I say GG and go next. But I think that was probably my line. 1 in 27. But block exists, so this isn't all bad. We're proing for a push and we do get the POW. I suppose we just want to get even closer to more goblins. And there goes an armor break and a KO. So the removal's turning against here. The Orc's finding some purchase. And that's a big POW. Shazasti eats a shot here. It's not Mighty Blow, but armor 8 plus stunty is always scared. And this is a very good goblin to bring down. We get towards the middle of the pitch, but we get the break. And it's a badly hurt. That's the good goblin down. The ball feels a lot safer for it. Although it's not positioned safer. Khornight may be thinking it's over before it's over. Although as long as Spike is free, it probably is over. Noob will save the blushes, and yeah, that probably does enough. Yeah, a little bit loosey-goosey. Only 6 goblins left, though. One of them a secret weapon. But it's rough. Boots, continuing the MVP performance. Yeah, I think Puppetjustice got caught up in the foul game a bit too much there, but he's given it a very good go. And it's not quite over yet. We are going to try and get rid of this guy. Trust in our stunty abilities. Yeah, okay, we'll take this blitz. And we're committing hard to it now. We're going to get a follow-up block as well. And we may lose, but we want to kill Spike on our way down. I think that's what Puppet's saying here. Thinking about maybe bringing this guy over. No, we're going in for the blitz. 2 6s and another 6. 3 in a row. And the killer hits the floor, surrounded by goblins. This will be another 4 assister. And they'll probably step. I'd step here. Yeah. Here we go. 4 assists. Or maybe 3 and we get the troll up, but the troll's very much out of the game here. Definitely the Newt School of Blood Bowl this. He's very happy in the chat. Planning the turn around the foul. Which is peak goblin, to be fair. And yeah, we are going to get the troll up just because he's like, we need to get every piece we can here. We'll take our 3 assist foul. We are starting to run out of time though. Turn 13 ends and we're not in the drive. We don't get the break. The ref says no. We've rolled a double 3. We'll try and argue. And yes, the inducement pays off. So we did take a biased ref as part of our inducement package, and that 5 will keep cannon fodder 42 on the pitch. However, no break. Spike can get up and move. Get up and punch. Yep, here comes the wrap. Boom, up, boom, boom. Closes it off. And if we mark, we'll mark up with not Black Orc. And we're looking at a nice juicy shot on the Bombardier. Or on the catch, on whoever we want, really. We can make it 3 dice as well, should we desire. Ball's going to slowly walk on by. And we'll do the eye cage, and the eye cage is good enough now. Now that the wrestle's out the way, there's very little red die threat. That will dub skull. And no discipline. We re-roll it. Straight up. Didn't even want to risk it. And we get the pow. More SPP on the table for Spike here. Doesn't take it. Only a stun. We'll get a bonus shot here. Cost of waking up the troll is an armor break. And now Never MVP will once again... No, he won't. Blocks a good skill. Troll stays up. But it will be fine. It'll be very hard to activate. It'll be a coin flip to activate. And no goblin to throw at the ball. Bombardier's stun. No bomb to throw at the ball. So this eye cage looks pretty impenetrable, unfortunately. We will try it now. I'd say a couple turns too late. Thinking about the Hail Mary reroll, we do have to throw it. And that'll be it in terms of the competition. 1 and 9 into 1 and 9. And down goes the last ditch try. And that's the turn. I think that's GG called by the Goblin coach. Puppetjustice, not very happy. As you can see there. And it's going to be Boots. Surely it won't be Boots. Surely he hands off to a blitzer. Is he going to run it in himself? It's like when you see a defensive lineman tip the ball and catch it. And everyone's begging him to hand it off. But he just keeps on rumbling downfield. Against everyone's better judgment. We're going to try punch some goblins instead. We're playing like we've got the brawling rule put in. Neck injury. Oh, Jesus. We're really trying to kill him. And we're playing like we've got the new rule in where touchdowns are worth 2 and casualties are worth 3. But look at this bench, eh? It's starting to fill all the way up. We've unfortunately run out of goblins, so I think even if it got to OT, it would have been a long time. And another Mighty Blow shot. Cannon fodder 42 this time. Trying to push the levels here, Khornight. And we get another 2 there. And now we're really farming. Look at this bench. 1 send-off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 injured and 4 KO'd and 1 sent off. Can the troll add to that? Probably not. It's armor 10 plus. And yeah, Never MVP. We'll need an MVP if he's to get a level out of this game. Goblin's probably past turn here. No, we are going to try and get over to the troll and do some fadeaway damage. This is good goblining. If you can't win, at least try and kill something useful so that your opponent is sad. But unfortunately, the opponent's going to be very happy with this one. And his boot's going to take it all the way to the house. He is. He wants that sneaky get skill. And he's not going to turn down some SPP. So it's a game-changing foul, a quick pass, and a touchdown for the dirty player, Orc lineman. A life game. And that could be a legal concede. Does he have enough players? We argue. And the Bombardier sent off. But the KO rolls have been good enough that there won't be a legal concede. Though I think there won't be too much to it. And he doesn't put boots on the LOS. He's had a good enough game. He can hide. Sev start. Hello? Yep, you are a bit late to the pie. Not even fashionably late, you're just outright late. But it's all good, you can cast the evening game and make up for it. 2 big and survive, so yeah. He has one, that's Khornight, but it's come at the cost of once MVP Biggin. 2 serious injuries, making the dead even more likely. And a victim of blitzer aggression, trying to take the easy blitz and then get downfield. Leaving 2 Black Orcs high and dry. It was Frenzy Biggin and once MVP Biggin. They got blitzed and fouled down and blocked down on turn 2. Frenzy Biggin got out of it with a knockout, but cost once MVP Biggin his life. Pretty brutal sacrifice from the Orc coach, but it has paid off. It's 2-0. Chainsaw's back, however. Look at this guy. He took a knockout and has only just woken up, but he's got the beer goggles on, quite literally. He did a bit of stuns in. Khornight's already in chat. Start was scary as hell. Yeah, your MVP was definitely the dirty player, Khornight. He's had a life game. Yeah, you deciding to go through the goblins when you were 1-0 up was a bit scary. I think if Puppetjustice was in match fitness and like really trying to win, I think your ball carrier would have been sacked on about turn 12 or 13, but he was going through a bit too much damage and you got away with that, I think. But a nice win. Considering the start, there was a moment on about turn 4 where it looked like the goblins were going to run away with it. But you were able to fire yourself back into the match. And nice. We're going to throw a teammate here. Here we go. Entertain the crowd. Oh, we can't even do that. Cannon fodder 41. What is wrong with you? And that'll be that. That's all they're right. Yeah, I'm only joshing with you, Khornight. It's a fair cop to hop into chat now. And Master Mundi's very happy. Goblin's obviously a bit sad. That is both goblins out at the first hurdle. Unfortunate. Although Kianda got criminally close. Kianda was very, very close to making it.